Alright, change Renaissance Sky, and continuing with the theme of gratitude. This one really actually is to Hillsborough Leisure Centre, and you know what, I can't remember the name of the HR manageress, the name escapes me, unfortunately. I know that's bad talking about gratitude and stuff, but I'm still grateful to her, and hopefully the person, the other people who I am going to mention in this video will see it and they'll go, yep, and then I can add underneath the comments this person's name. But back in 2012, I'd moved over to Sheffield, and I'd had a bad deal working in security. I'm not going to mention the security company's name, but I was left without the job, and a few other things happened and everything else, and a lot of things. And I always say to people, that you can change the past. You can change what's happening to you, primarily because of my experience at Hillsborough Leisure Centre. I'm not going to go into those experiences of what happened, where happened, and when. I'm not going into it. However, there are two people who I'm going to mention, and that is one, David Hudson and John Taylor. And I think David is still the duty manager of Hillsborough Leisure Centre. John Taylor was. And when I first got in contact with Hillsborough Leisure Centre, there was nothing, and it was about nearly this time that I started organising, going to get my pool lifeguard qualification, everything else, and I was studying for the personal trainer level 3. My God, 11 years ago. 11 years ago. My goodness me, 11 years ago. And I remember getting in touch, and Hillsborough Leisure Centre didn't have anything for me. However, I did do my pool lifeguard at the Sheffield, at the main Sheffield swimming pool in town centre, at the Forge, I believe. I can't remember exactly the name of it, but I did it there. That's over in South Yorkshire in the UK. And I remember a few other things as well. And along with being disciplined and going out for what you want, because I did, I really went out for everything and pushed for everything I possibly could get. Over in the UK, if you don't keep to your employment agreements, you suffer from what's called a sanction. And I even had benefits taken on me, a reduced amount, and I actually played hell up a little actually on it, not in a bad way. I didn't lose my temper, I didn't lose my rag or anything, but I actually said, actually no, you know what, I'm keeping to it. And in fact, not only am I keeping to what we agreed, I'm actually doing even better. My record stands for itself. Anyway, it got sorted and it got done and dusted. And the reason why I'm grateful for the HR manageress is because I wrote to her, I said, look, I've got this is ridiculous. You know that I've been doing everything I should do. I've been contacting you and others. And I actually had letters from other HR managers about the situation. All of them backed me up and everything's sorted. Now I remember because it will be round about, it's July now, I started work in Hillsborough Leisure Centre in 2013 in, I believe, April. And I went for an interview with David Hudson, and the manager at the time, and we're talking, and David Hudson said to me, I said, I never got any feedback on my interview, and I remember getting a 0-hour contract, which meant that if I worked over 16 hours, I couldn't get any benefits. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. I got my name round, and I worked at a lot of different leisure centres, and I was never out of work. And I had so much support from a lot of the staff there, and it was a sad time that I had to leave and come over and be with my mum and dad back in 2013. It was, well, it was a sad time, and I miss that place. And I've always said I would go back and work there again. I would, in a heartbeat. But getting back to talking with David Hudson, and he said, you know what, he said, mate, he said, I wish we'd have given you the contract because you worked hard. And he said, the interview, he said, you just had us in stitches with laughter. And he said, you just looked, you just looked the part. We're like, we've just got to have this guy because he's gonna raise morale. And I remember I did 3 days with them. 3 days. And on the third day, came to the end of my 3 days shadowing, and David came up and said, can you come and do a shift tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, boss, I'll be there. Every shift I was offered, I worked, and I was in there. And there used to be a text thing, and I used to have, I'm not kidding you, an old Nokia 310. And immediately says, I'll do this, and this, and I'll be there. There was very few times that I said no. And David and John said to me, they said, look, what we do is we send the text out, but before we do that, we send texts to people who won't let us down, who we can rely on first, those people who really want the work. And I used to get a lot of work, and it was one of the times where in work I felt so valued and so wanted, and my work was recognised. And John and David helped me through so many things. Both wrote me endorsements, both wrote me fantastic references. The amount of gratitude I have for them, and with what they gave me, has lived with me for the past 10 years that I've been there. And I owe so much to them. And some things I could never repay with what I feel that I owe them. And I wanted to do this today to express my gratitude, and I will be sharing on their timeline, and I will be showing this and saying, you know what, to you, David, John, thank you for the chances you took with me, for giving me the work, and for allowing me to work with you. And I genuinely, from the bottom of the heart, thank you. I'm actually now in work where I have a similar relationship with my area manager, and if you ever get the chance to work for them, they are what leaders should be. They really are. They're amazing, true gents, and I appreciate a lot of things that I have now. Those two men are two of the people who I can attribute to a lot of my success, because they gave me that chance. So, and they helped me restore my work ethic and everything, gave me everything, a lot of things back, and I'm grateful for that. So, John, David, thanks guys, from the bottom of my heart, absolute gratitude towards you. Thank you.